tripling the amount of men who are no longer ever experiencing suicidal ideation. So after speaking with about 800 men on this topic, with about 3,000 hours invested in conversation with them, going deep into the matter of things, full truth on the table, I started to finally collect data, numbers, on their results in their recovery journey as they work with me. Now, before I show you the numbers, take a look at this. I am brand new, just beginning to start collecting this information. I didn't want to wait to start sharing because it's so incredible. Now, typically, before you see a trend show up in data collection, you would typically need to see a larger data set. But when you can witness a trend begin to show up with a small sample size, it means that there's something powerful working behind the scenes. It means that there's something real here. Let me show you. And wait till you see how it affects the reduction of suicidal ideation. But what we're going to focus on right now with the numbers is the emotional shift that takes place. The emotional shift that takes place. And these emotions are stress response emotions. The reason why we're focusing on that is because the number one reason for relapse for any addiction is a stress response within a person. That stress response is accompanied with an emotional response. These emotional responses I'm going to show you are the emotional responses that trigger someone into an addiction relapse. What I'm going to show you is a series of questions that shows where these men were at before entering the Leap of Courage program and where they are at after enrolling and going through the Leap of Courage program. Okay, before starting the Leap of Courage program, what was your level of anxiety on average in the past? So this is on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most intense that it could be. This is intensity and frequency combined. So here we can see that a majority are having quite a bit of anxiety over here. So now what is your current level of anxiety after enrolling in the Leap of Courage program? Look at that shift. Look at that beautiful bell curve. My goodness. Look at that shift of anxiety. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, on to the next emotion. The state of depression. Before starting the Leap of Courage program, this is what the data is showing so far with depression. And after enrolling in the Leap of Courage program, you guys, look at that shift. Look at that shift. Holy moly, look at that shift. Next emotional state, anger. Ooh, look at all that anger. Look at that high. This right here at a 10, that is rage. Anger at its strongest. Sheer, uncontrollable rage. Look at that. All right, where do you think it's going to shift to after they enroll in the program and go through the program? Ah, look at that. Look at that. And this is data collected from men who are still enrolled in the program going through it. They're not even finished yet. Which means that all of these numbers can only get better with time as they continue to do the work with what they're learning here. My goodness. Okay. And shame. A majority of the shame is over in the 10, as incredibly intense as it could be. Shame makes a person want to feel invisible to the world and not exist. Look at that shame before entering the program. Where do you think it's going to shift to? Look at that beautiful shift. Look at that elimination, that reduction of shame. That shame is being converted into self-compassion, self-forgiveness, knowing your self-worth. Realizing that everyone on this planet makes poor choices, and it's part of the human experience, and it has nothing to do with your self-worth, your ability to deserve kindness, love, compassion, empathy, all of it. All of it. Look at that beautiful shift. Moving on to suicidal ideation. Suicidal ideation. Before enrolling in the program, suicidal ideation, we had about 18% of men enrolling experiencing suicidal ideation every single day. That's about 1 in 5 men experiencing it every single day. We had about 40% experiencing it every few months, about 10% once a year. We had almost 23% experiencing it never. Almost 23. That's about 1 in 4 weren't ever experiencing it. But look at that. That light blue is never. We tripled the amount of men who never experience suicidal ideation. We eliminated experiencing it daily. Focus on this light blue. About 23% never experiencing suicidal ideation, to nearly 73% never experiencing suicidal ideation, tripling the amount of men who are no longer ever experiencing suicidal ideation, tripling. Do you understand the impact that has? Do you see what this number means? And keep in mind, most of the men who submitted this self-assessment are still going through the program. They haven't yet even graduated. And so when we collect data just on the men who've graduated, all of these numbers that I've shown you are going to be even better. Even better. Okay. Men, you are valuable. You are powerful. Have the courage to step into this incredible healing journey. I will meet you where you are, as long as you are committed to the process and surrender to it. It's not going to be easy. It will be challenging. It will require courage. And it may just be the most incredible journey you have ever gone on in your entire life. My promise to you is that my team and I will continue to show up for you as long as you continue to show up for you. We won't give up on you as long as you still have fight left inside of you. See you on the inside.